nawe abija bakushendekereze. The Right Honorable Speaker wa Parliament yaitu kandi Second National Vice Chairperson Honorable Annette Among. Kandi twine na Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Taebwa. Your Excellency, twine SEC members kandi twagira Honorable Asimwe Jonad ahabwe cyanga cyaburenje gwizoba kibaligwe muna Kasese. Twagira Honorable Moses Mushabe kandi orakulira veterans omu Uganda yona ahabwe kibina cyitwa cha NRM. Twagira Honorable Adrien Kobusinje kandi orakulira abakazi bona omu Uganda ahabwa NRM. Your Excellency, twine Honorable Tom Butime kandi orakulira historicals ahabwa NRM omu Uganda yona. Mukama wanje Right Honorable Secretary General Richard Todong, Your Excellency, nawe ariaha. Your Excellency, twine ba ministers bingi nabo abakushendekereza. Twine Honorable Tom Butime, twagira Honorable Alice Kaboyo, twagira Honorable Baram Bargahara, twagira Honorable Kabyang Godfrey, Honorable Fiona Nyamutoro, Honorable State House Controller Jenny Bareche. Your Excellency, twine ba MPs binja beija bakushendekerize kandi nandashaba ngubaze omeisho nabo bakubireho. Museveni Kasese winning shenkuru wahulira abana bawo bashemerigwe munonga kureba ngweja okubatayayira. Twineho former leaders, MPs, ministers, murabasa nimwe kwija muhubireho muzeyi. Twagiraho Your Excellency flag bearers. Flag bearers, please come forward. Abine flag ahabwa MP, ahabwa LC5. Mwijo mmisho kandi muhubireho President weitu kandi oli candidate weitu ahabwa president. Sebo abo nibo abuturaza kuba turakwereza kugira ngo bakushendekereza omwishenjero na LC5 and other levels.
Prime Minister wa Rwenzururu Ariano Kingdom.
Your Excellency, twineho na security leaders na ndashaba security personnel nimwe muhubireho kandi the commander in chief otwire obusinje kumara obwire bwinji munonga nitwa abantu ba Kasese kandi tubuganyigwe mu munonga nk'abantu abali ha border. Your Excellency, twine Prime Minister wa Rwenzururu na timu eija nayo twaturashaba nimwe muhubireho muzeyi. Mwebare reba bali side ya kuri ahabwa Rwenzori Nkobugabe mwebare munonga kwija kwakira president w'ihanga. NRM Museveni Kasese Your Excellency, abantu ba Kasese bahamize kimwe kubarenda kuhindura ahanshunga bakareba ngo bakuhereza akaruru ejinchuro eitwaza kuzamu kanyakire and member wa SEC ahabwa Western Region ntanda eyaturetire ari kwija kanyanjure PDM National Coordinator
This is day 1 of my husband doing Tai Chi workouts. This is day 21 of my husband doing Tai Chi workouts.
Make it a habit. 7 minutes of Tai Chi every morning, all the way for 1 month. In 1 week, you'll feel better. In 2 weeks, you look better. In 1 month, your wife won't believe your results. Here's a Tai Chi workout plan, made for men over 50. These beginner-friendly exercises take just 7 minutes a day. Tai Chi is the best medicine for men over 50, and it's a key to long-lasting health and vitality. It's more than a workout. It's a game changer for your life and longevity. Just open the app and follow along.
Using ChatGPT like Google? That's why it feels useless. But try this instead.
So this is how I became the most dangerous person in the room. One habit changed everything. I replaced social media with microlearning. Now, instead of wasting time on social media, I spend 15 minutes a day actually learning how to use AI for writing, planning, brainstorming, the real work. That's it, just 1 skill a day. This is the 28-day AI challenge built for beginners over 40. Starts tomorrow. Tap the screen to join us and try the one habit that really makes you unstoppable.
When you have the perfect response in your head, but your fingers just can't keep up. We've all been there. Typing, deleting, retyping. Now I use Whisperflow. I just think out loud and it creates perfect formatted text on any app or website. Whisperflow understood what I was trying to say and gave me the exact output I wanted. Check out the difference between this same sentence being dictated into Siri versus Whisperflow. Let's meet at 12 p.m. at Joe's Pizza. Wait, no, actually I can't do 12, so let's do 12:30. And instead of Joe's, let's go to Kelly's Diner. Whisperflow understood what I was trying to say and gave me the exact output I wanted. For longer texts like this email, it even formats it professionally so it's ready to go with no editing. So much faster than typing. Whether you're writing in Gmail, ChatGPT, iMessage, WhatsApp, Slack, Cursor, or anywhere else, break free from your keyboard. Do you know how much time you'll save if you quadruple your typing speed? Try Whisperflow for free on desktop and mobile. Free from your keyboard. Do you know how much time you'll save if you quadruple your typing speed? Try Whisperflow for free.
Abantu bakasese bobutire Masinje, Vice Chairperson, Western Uganda, NRM.
Ate Vice Chairman wetu NRM Western Uganda.
All the other leaders.
Abalemi abandi abosi.
And the people of Kasese.
Nabandu abosi abe Kasese.
I have come here with other leaders from Kampala to present to you a summary of the manifesto of NRM from 2026 to 2031.
eriloko mwaka ono w'engumi ibiri abiri na mukaaga erikoko wasatu na muma.
In that manifesto,
omwakihandiko ekyo
we point out what the NRM has done in the last 40 years.
ati tukakanganaya ebya NRM yamabekola omwa myaka 40 y'amalavu.
And we point out that NRM has put 7 matofali on the House of Uganda in the last 40 years.
mukakanganibawa indi government ya NRM yamabihiraho amatafale musanjo okwo buhimbe obw'erihanga lyetu lya Uganda.
Matafali meaning contribution.
Amatafali kikamanyisaya eriongerako kuti erihirako.
The Runyankore word would be omuganda.
Ekyo mwalunyongore si kyekyo. Enganda eya NRM yamahiro kwa Uganda.
The Muganda was the traditional bunch of
grass, of spear grass.
Not grass, but Emiganda, the sticks for building the house, or
yes,
poles.
For building the house. Omuanda, angana muanda wesiseke kuti muanda wemetri.
You use Muganda also?
Yes.
Omuhenzi
kwiti omuanda kwiti omuhenzi owe NRM yamahiro ko bwimbe bwe Uganda.
Omuhenzi.
Omuhenzi.
Omuhenzi. Okay. Now NRM has put 7 Miganda.
Ati NRM yamabirehe mehenzi musanjo oko buhimbe bwe lihanga leno.
The first one is peace.
Echo kubanza bwobuholo.
Ogwokubanza.
Echo kubanza obuholo.
Ogwokubanza.
Obuholo checho kubanza.
You the people of Kasese are the best witnesses for peace.
Itwe abanyakasese tuli bakayisu okwa obuholo obw'amabiri asomwihanga mwahanga.
Because you know what peace, you know what peace means.
Munasi chobuholo bukamanyisaya.
And you know what lack of peace means.
Ke munachasi obuholo bw'amabula ekyo kikamanyisaya.
You have seen it here in Kasese.
Kasese hano mwabechelangira.
And the Rwenzori in general.
No mwa Rwenzori yosi eritwalera hauma.
And you also live near Congo.
Kandi tulibaleranwa abe Congo.
So you should be the lecturers for peace.
Inywe mutoleri mwabini nywe basomesya abo buholo nga kikamanyisa yaki.
Abarwenzori bebasomesya bobuhoro mu Afrika yose.
Wonderful. Abe Rwenzori itwe tulibasomesya abo buholo omu Afrika yose nga kikamanyisa yaki.
Abokano mumanya okutaba no businge kirukumanyisa.
Kundi munasindeke obuholo bwa matende byaho bukatalibana ekyo kikamanyisa ya.
Now this obuholo
buno
we are able to maintain because of 2 things.
Twamalekebwa byaho ahabwe bendo bebere.
Our politics of clear politics.
Politiki yetu kwiti ebye pokopoko byetu eberendeke.
Not pokopoko. Ebyobulemi, translate ebyobulemi.
Ebyendema byetu eberendeke ebyendema.
Ebyendema byesu biyonjo.
Ebyendema byetu ni biyonjo berendeke.
Tibine munzulo.
Sibiwite bitivu, sibiwite mitiro.
The Uganda had a problem of lack of peace.
Uganda yabewete kitivu ekyobuholo eribula.
Because of bad politics.
Ahabo bwembembeti obutuwene.
Politics of identity.
Obwembembeti obwerigabanizyamo.
Iwo ogunoha.
Oyunende.
Umchikala kyo kaguza anagonza koraki.
Omwanya weribulya oyo anganakolaki.
Bakaguza ogunoha.
Itwa ibulya oyunende.
n'omukonjo n'omutoro n'omunyankore n'omuganda n'omukatoliki n'omuprotestanti n'omusiramu.
Erigabaniziamu oyu nindi, oyu ni mukristayo, oyu ni mukatoliki, oyu ni musilamu, oyu ni mukonzo, oyu ni mutoro, oyu ni munyangole. Erigabaniziamu.
That was the wrong question.
Ekyo kyekibuli ekitahikire.
And we were there. I'm very lucky to have been active for the last 65 years.
Awityo
This festive season, win with KCB Bank Chikapu. Shop at any of your favorite restaurants, markets, shops, or any other merchants across the country and pay using KCB Pay or your Visa card and stand to win branded merchandise and shopping vouchers weekly. You also stand to win if you pay all your utility bills or settle taxes using KCBU Mobi app. To make payments, download the KCBU Mobi app on Play Store or App Store, or use KCB Pay by dialing *244*9# today. KCB Bank, for people, for better. Terms and conditions apply.
Ekikaguzo ekikujja ogunagonza kukolaki.
ukalemwa eribuli ekibulyo oyu akanze erikolaki.
Abuku iwe noserera ekyomugaso ekira kugasa.
Ewe utolera warondya ekyo muwaso ekikendi kuwaticha.
Orakikola wena ni musima.
Owosho yuwanga kolecho sekike kuwaticha neruwa sima.
Kandi Yesu nuko yasomese mu Bayibuli.
Nerisomesherya Yesu kolerereto mu Bayibuli.
Orufumu olwa Musamaliya omurungi.
Esitore ngokutunase bihandikirwe okwo Musamaliya mubuya.
Omusajja akaba nagenda muhanda bamutera bamureka nabatekereza ngo afwire.
Omulumi abinyane muwendo mwanzira bamamuswirya bamamuleka aho ngo alenga makuwa amaberhola.
Hati bishop mfarisayo akaba bishop akabariki.
Nero hamaso mufarisayo ambomba nyabi ya bishop oyo wasayo akabukala.
Akija yamurabaho.
Amasama mulaba
umunyadini wa amani yamurabaho.
Keni wedini kutsebe no wekisumbe amasama mulabako.
Umunyadini wa amani kandi oworuganda rwe.
Omunyadini owamani kandi owolwanda lwiwe amasama mulabako.
Yamurabaho yagenda tiyamukonyera.
Ama mulabako shatamuwaticha iyo maenda.
Akawara ulijo na omuntu mukuru mukasuma kuromweto omulevi.
Habe hanyo undi mulemi bakamwola mu mulevi omwabutukobo.
Nawe yamurabaho.
Nayo amasa nayo amamulabako.
Heja omusamaliya owedine ndijo orugando rundi nuwe yamukonyeire.
Hamasa omusamaliya mubuya oweyindi dini niyo wabyasire niyo wabyamuwatikire kesi wolwanda lwiwe.
Aho Yesu yabakaguza tumbantu bana basatu nga yayambira ono Noha.
Neho Yesu ababuliraya ati kwa bandu abasatu oyu wabyawatikirye omundu olya nende.
Now, therefore, when the NRM was clear against the politics of sectarian politics,
ati ibonga benyaremu ebyabu biterekerere okwobuherezya sibali okwobuherezya obwerigabaniziamu.
we were able to build a united party for the whole of Uganda.
Ati twabirihimba echama echere hauma omwa Uganda yosi.
And build a national army.
Nerihimba abasirikali aberihanga yosi.
Because when we were building army,
ati tukahimba mahe,
we don't ask your tribe
sibali kubulaya olwanda lwawo
or your religion.
Kwitsinga ukasoma dini ichi.
We ask you how well you can shoot.
Tukabulaya nga wangana lasa erihicha hayi.
Nateba kurungi ninga nateba kubi.
Aha, omwati siwoyo.
Echo nchiyo tukukaguza.
Ati echo echabakabulaya checho.
Okuteba shoot.
Nga wangana toka nga unauti esaba okuteba.
Aha.
Nga unauti esaba.
That is Swahili. Now, that's how we have been able, because of a strong national party, Because of strong national institutions like the army, that's how we are able to maintain peace.
ati ahabwe rihimbe chama namani kandi nerihimba mahe ndeke chechirekire itwaletaho obuholo.
Aba ADF bali Congo.
Ati abe ADF abasenu bakatutalabanizya baniye Congo.
Betu Uganda nibagirangiza hare baranzya.
Ati Uganda bakalangerera ya hali nga Isirielia.
Okuzayo wano wafira muloge. Omuganda bwagamba nti wano wafira muloge.
Ati ukakwira buloge wama ilengesenya berenga ngebyo.
They stay there. They can't come. If they have tried to come, you know what has happened to them.
Ati babiri byeyo kunde bakaba kalengeseriasa bandashe chikaba byako.
So this is the contribution of NRM number 1.
Ati eryo niritafale eri NRM yamabiteko kwa Uganda eryo kubanza.
Second one is development.
Echakabere yengula kulana.
The roads,
eshanguda,
electricity,
amasanyarazi,
telephones,
simu,
water,
amaetse,
schools,
amasukuru, amatendekero,
health centers,
amasipataretu,
all those you know.
Ebyo shevingo kumunabyes.
Kundukwija hano kagando hano munda yensozi nkasanga ya masanyarazi nsemererwa muno.
Ati mwaseno ekagando kande mwatemire akalangira masanyarazi ini anamuhetukoro mwabetu.
Abako iraga kabagatariyo.
Kundi hanyumaho enu yabisiri masanyarazi.
Tutwinewire kuberabo mbyona biri mufairo hano betu bingi muno ibikozirwe.
Ati awite binene ebyamabere kolwa anenabyo mwachande kuchiwe angabere ni akabisoma obutukubulye mwikirira ya.
But the NRM from the 60s was very clear.
Ati NRM eriro mwamyaka yenga iyo bulengekania bwayo buterekerere.
We were clear that development is good for all of us.
Kundi erengekania lyayo lyabinde engula kulana ni chibuya echitwebosi.
But at night, you don't sleep on the tarmac road.
Kundi omwachiru ibwasi tulikese yo kwanzera eyetwe yihalirendeke ye kolas.
You go back to your own house.
Kundi ukasuveka omwenyumbe yawo.
And when you go back,
ukabukasuveka
the poverty you left in the morning,
obunako bolyesiyeko mwanjacha,
you find it waiting for you.
Ukasanga nibunakulindire.
And it says, welcome back.
Kandi bwakutangirira butuwesinjeri subuleka.
We are still here.
Tuchina hano wasinjeri subuleka obunako bukakutangirira.
There is no sugar in the house.
Siri sukali eko mwanyumba.
The clothes are not enough.
Esyanjimba sisiri unza.
The house is leaking.
Enyumba yekatoga.
And therefore, we told people that you must be clear that, yes, peace is there, development is there, but you must deal with the poverty in your home.
Neryo mutu abwera abandu tuti kwenene ebyengula kulana chihikire betu iwengo mundu na utolerwa kolokwa bunakwa obu mwenyumba yawo.
And that was our message when we were still students in the 60s, 70s.
Ati oyobi wo mwati obabya bakahererya abandu omwamyaka yengaga ebachenana balere.
And when we came into the government,
twabere twasoma government,
we continued with that same message
twamende mbere no mwati oyo
of wealth creation.
Owerihiraho obugaga.
And in the manifesto
omwachahandiko chetu che NRM
of 1996, we said there are a number of steps each family needs to take.
Mutu ahirahwa madara awobulika yitoleria twala.
First step, stop producing for the stomach only, produce for the stomach and the pocket.
Eridare lyokubanza mutu obwatote tulime ebyeriria tulekera hwererima ebyeriria bisa tulime nebikendihira kasente kumwisaho.
And secondly,
ekyakabere
do so with ekibaro.
tukehaye ekibaro tukihiremu tukolesaye ekibaro omu byatukakola.
And that's when we proposed the 4 acres model for people with smaller pieces of land.
Kyekялeka etwaleeta ekirengekanyo ekyahikini erikolesa ekyahikini shandeke.
We said that if the land is already small, from 4 acres downwards, do the following.
Mutu abwatote wamawiti eritakaleike okwasyahikini wanganaba nebyerekola ebiringa bino.
Number 1,
ekyokubanza
put an acre of coffee.
wohere omwani ehika ngoma.
2, an acre of fruits.
ekyakabere ehike yebiwuma.
3, pasture for cattle in the shed for milk.
ekyakasatu wanganasye ehika ngoma eyeshande aho wangabukiha ekikopo kyamate ayiririsirisiya.
Number 4, grow food for the homestead.
ehike yakane woleme ebyalya bwebyawe byererya omwenyumba.
In the backyard,
mwalubuwabuwa
you put poultry for eggs.
uhire hakanyumba akeshangoko nukuwawo nemutunga komaya.
You put piggery.
wanganahiraho neshambunu.
Then those who are near the wetlands,
abali hakuikuhi nebisesa
at the edge of the wetland,
hakuikuhi nebiringa bisesa ho
do fish farming.
uhire hechidibe kyamahere.
If you do this, you'll be very rich even when you are working in a small area.
wamakola ebyo ebyamatubwira ewokende byamugaga.
And those who have listened
abo abamabiri owo kwomwatsi oyo
have done well.
bakabeyenderaku kwenene banemukola ndeke banendeke.
There is one good example of one of our younger ministers, Byamukama of Bunyoro.
ate hali ekyo wokyerireberyako nemuwoma newebunyoro.
My name is Fred Byamukama.
siyoyo bamamwiraho.
I'm a member of Parliament of Buganges West Constituency,
I will
Kakulo
summarize.
District. We are now at our 4-acre demonstration farm. The land we have here is approximately 4 acres. This is a farm we started 2 years back here, 2.5 years back. And on this farm, we have a half acre of pineapple, has 6 cows for 0 grazing. We have poultry, about 25,000 birds, but only 11,000 are giving us eggs. And we have 1 acre of grass. We have piggery, those are very many. And 1 acre of coffee mixed with banana. Where we are, this is a 4-acre model farm. I did this activity to teach my voters to lead by example so that my voters can learn what measure the president tells the public. This is an initiative I learned from the president sometime back when he sent me to learn to Kaumu, to Kisozi. I copied what I copied, this is what I came up with. And you will see as we move, or that side, this side, that's my 4-acre model farm. The house as well, I don't sleep here, but if I would sleep here, the house as well is seated on this 4-acre model farm. When you look at poultry, out of the 25,000 birds, it's only 11,000 giving me eggs. Others are soon giving me, and I get 302 trays per day minimally, because 11,000 birds are supposed to give me 366 trays. But because of the feeding method of deep litter, I don't get all the eggs. I get 302 trays per day minimally. Then I sell in a month, you can get a net profit of 55 million. Because you get 108 million, but you can't get all that. You have to buy feeds, pay workers, pay electricity. Remain with 55 million net pay. When you get the cows per month.
Hati mhuriro bwa kaiso bwa Byamukama.
Ati twamowa obwakaiso bwa Byamukama okwa omwatsi owo mushakulwa lyatubwerako.
We don't have time to listen to the whole message.
Ahabwo butuku amabwati berekerwayo babitomwa bikuyi.
But we have already seen how he planted coffee.
Ati twamalangira ngokumwahera omwachitweka chiwuma mumwani.
He planted fruits.
Amahere biwuma omwachindi chitweka.
He planted pasture for cows in the shed.
Amahere biti ebye bisoro ebyabekalya.
And he has got a lot of pigs.
Kandi ni anatungire eshambunu senene.
Those ones he doesn't sell, he just gives free to the constituents.
Ati netu tutolere twakole biringa ngebi.
But there are cows there, you saw them.
Mwamukalangira nendemo mukanalangira neshango komo mukasilangira.
But the chibaro we can focus on is the one of the poultry for eggs.
Ati chivaro echatukole kwitse chakayahanda kwengondo chechivaro echeretungesha ngoko nukuwatungamaya.
An activity he does in the backyard of the home.
Aha. Ati echivaro echeretungesha ngoko ewatungamaya chikawatikaya.
Doesn't need a lot of land.
Sichiri isunza omwanya munene yehe.
He's told you that he's getting 302 trays per day.
Amatubwera ati akatunga eshakureti shamaya esilabiro kwa bisatu na 20.
And he gets 108 million shillings per month.
Akatunga esha sente esilabiro kwa milioni 18 omwokwezi kumu.
But when he deducts costs, he remains with 55 million.
Echo twangana chikola kisuta kolesha nesha sente sinene kutsiwe ye.
55 million net per month.
Nerwa kabiri hako ebyali akolesa ya neruni asirazia esha milioni sewe 58 omwokwezi kuuma.
If you multiply by 12, that's about 700 million shillings.
Omwamwa kamuuma nerwa kabiri anawetesha sente esilabiro kwa sha milioni rusanju.
From eggs alone.
Amaya ni chindu echanganatu omwabunakwa.
Without adding the coffee, the milk and the others.
Kandi shalie hira kwebende kwa sha sente shaki omwani omwabiwuma nomwabende ngokutulya langira halya.
There's a man from Karamoja.
Haneno wundi owe Karamoja.
Let's see that man of Karamoja.
Akatukangana yo wundi owe Karamoja.
Mr. Korea Dick Ogira. I am a model farmer in Abim district. My village here is called Arangetoy West. Arangetoy Parish, Abuk Town Council, Abim district in Karamoja. The mango trees you are seeing here were given to me by the President through Operation Wealth Creation.
Is your phone failing to upgrade to Airtel VoLTE? Follow the steps below to update your phone software and enjoy uninterrupted streaming and high-definition calls. For Android users, open Settings, scroll down to System or About Phone, tap Software Update or System Update, tap Check for Updates. Below are the steps for iPhone. Open Settings, General, Software Update, wait a few seconds while the iPhone checks for available iOS updates. Then go to your phone's data settings and activate VoLTE. Enjoy seamless experiences, unlock endless possibilities, and become the invincible you with Airtel VoLTE.
2 acres of cassava. They are now doing well. The first acre I intend to harvest next year in January. Then for the mangoes, you are seeing, I started harvesting last year in 2023. The first harvest, I got 6 million. That was in June. Then second harvest, in September, November, not September, November, I got another 6 million. So last year, from these mangoes, I got 12 million shillings. I've been selling to the people around. Actually, Soroti Fruit Factory has booked this mango. They want me to take these mangoes tomorrow, 2025, to the factory. Actually, I've been selling locally. I've been selling one at 500 shillings, two 1,000. And people are buying. These mangoes are very good. The mangoes trees you are seeing here are giving me money, a lot of money. And I want to thank His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Kaguta Museveni, for coming up with the idea of Operation Wealth Creation in the country. This is money. I am not going to suffer. My children will not suffer because of this wealth. I call it wealth now. I always harvest, I don't harvest mango, I harvest money, not mangoes. So I want to thank our president so much. And next year, if all goes well, I expect to get 18 million first harvest. And then second harvest, I also expect to get 18 million next year, 2025. So altogether, I expect to get 36 million shillings. And this money
now,
I will use for
the testimony
ati oboni bwakayiso
from this man from very far, Karamoja.
nebo omulome owe Karamoja emihara harieria.
That's about 700 miles from here.
Nisha mayirunga rusanjo erilwa hantu.
Far away from the tarmac roads.
Nemwa nyamuli erilwa ahali nguda ya kolas.
But he's got wealth there.
Ave tungo bugaga omwachitwe kecho.
The development is not so much.
Sibu nene kutibu engula kulana iriyo sinene kutibu.
No tarmac roads.
Seyere ngude shekolasi.
The electricity is there now at least.
Amasenyerezi yabirihikayo mwabutuku buno.
But other things are not as good as here.
Betu ebindweri aseberendeke nga hanu.
But he has got wealth now.
Betu aberetungerayo obuguda.
From one of the 7 activities we recommended in 1996.
Chiwume ekyo kwabendo musanjo ebyatwahabula omwabutuku 1996.
So when I look in the file here,
akabya kalangira omwabihandikirwe ebyawiteko.
The government has been giving you free materials to do exactly like he did.
Ewe twenu tunawite byerikolesya erikola ebyomulumi oyu anemukola ebyatwamalangira.
We gave him 200 trees of mangoes and he's very rich because of those.
Ate muba moha ebiti nabekome bibere byemiyembe betu usamalira obugaga obwebiri hamu.
But here in the file, Kasese got 17 million seedlings of coffee.
Ekasesi eno omwafayiru yiwe mutu atunga esya milioni 17 esya mbibo eyomwani.
Milioni 17.
Milioni 17.
Very good. Now mangoes, like the ones of the Karamojong.
Emiyembe eyabalya tukangana ya
777,000.
Emitwalo sanju na musanju embuto eyemiyembe.
Emitwalo sanju na musanju.
Emitwalo sanju na musanju.
The citrus, oranges, 400,000.
Emitsungwe emitwalo 40 embuto.
Apples, 639,000.
Esha apple emiti mitwalo mukaga na kenda. Mitwalo ngaga na kenda.
And apples are much richer than even mangoes.
Kandi ibwesha apple esho sikaleta obugaga kukerana miyembe.
So therefore, it is very important for people to really wake up and know how to get out of poverty.
Ate nichikulu erelangere ndetukabuka tulo mwabunakwa.
The NRM, what the NRM has been telling you is not a story. It is correct. If you do it, you will get out of poverty.
ebya NRM yekatubwera sibyeriteberezie yese sitore ebya buli kiro bino wamabenderako itukiilo mwabunakwa.
Here in Kasese, we need to add irrigation.
Kasese eno tutolere tongerako irrigation ngokutunabyasi.
And in all other parts of the country.
Nokumwabende betsweka ebyerihanga leno.
I can show you the example of irrigation.
Ati akatukangada yecherere lyako eche irrigation kwitse area no mwabutukongo mwese area omwabutuko bosi erikolisha amazi.
This is where our model plantation is. Plantation which you've had, we've already gone beyond 50 tons of yield per hectare per year. Matoke is very important part is water, but especially in the dry season. So here we are using irrigation, drip irrigation, as you can really see, using water, especially in the dry season. Drip irrigation, the advantage with it is that it sends water where it is required. PBD does not depend on national water. We make our own water, which we pump every day. 90% of the water is used for irrigation, and the other 10% is processed for use in pilot plant and estate residential areas. This farm, as per NEMA allows us to use a third of the water flow. But in the dry season, we even just use 12% of the water flow. So there is still enough water which we can pump. We've already finished the feasibility study to distribute the same irrigation water to the farmers, mainly along the water pipeline. So the structures you are seeing here are mainly to do primary filtration of the water. You have seen the color of the water through that aeration. It's our water in the western region is full of iron. So we always reduce the iron content by passing it through the air. Each of these pumps 40 cubic meters per hour, and it has a lift height of 140 meters. That's why we are pumping it 110 meters from here. Where we are standing is 110 meters below the reservoir where it is being pumped. You see these ready tanks? Those ready tanks are full of sand. To again continue the filtration of the water. We are using drip system, which uses very, very fine water. We should not be having any floating particles to block the system. Many people, when they hear His Excellency talking about 53 tons, people wonder if that's possible or not.
Now,
you'll be able to see.
That example is in Bushenyi. There's a government experimental plantation. We irrigate there. And we use fertilizers. Orwezo, ekijimusa.
Itwakolesya ebikakula ya ebyalya omuboga itwakolesya omuboga erikulakulanya ebyalya luba.
Because of that, we harvest 53 tons per hectare.
Neryo tukagesa esyatani 50 omwa buli hika.
The nearby Banyankole,
banyoni betu abakuikuhya Banyankole,
harvest only 5 tons.
Bawite store yabo eyesya tani 5.
So I harvest 10 times more than those Banyankole there.
Iyo akahuluka ya venene emirundi 5 kukira Abanyankole balya.
Emirundi 10.
emirundi 10 kukera abanyangole bali bye bakahuluka ya
ugo mseja nategeza kuti kumanya rukonyo ugo mseja nategeza kuti kumanya rukonyo urukonyo ni ruhura mbaza runyankwere mundu miyanyu
ati aka olunyangole no lukonzo olukonzo akalo wandeke.
And you use some of the old words which people don't use so much now.
Ati ebinywe bikulu abandu ebiro bino sebakibikenga. Obuholo.
That's old runyankwere.
Ati olo nelulimi lolunyangole lwakera obuholo.
But it's real runyankwere.
Ati olo nelunyangole lwenyine.
So this is what we are going to add on.
Ati echo nicho tukayongerako.
Now, this is the third tafari NRM has put on Uganda.
Ati eryo ni tafari erya kasatu eri NRM yamabirihiro kwa Uganda. Oyo ne muhenzi owa kasatu owa NRM yamahiro kwa Uganda.
The Uganda is richer now. We've got a lot of production, more than before.
Ati Uganda nenyigaga kutsibu kukira enyumango kuyabya.
As a country.
Iyongeri hangeri yosere twalera hawumu.
More coffee.
Omwani aberekanya.
More bananas.
Amatoke aberekanya.
More cows.
Eshande shaberekanya.
More maize.
Ate bikusa byaberekanya.
More sugar.
Esukali yaberekanya.
Everything is more.
Obuli kindu ekyo si kyaberekanya.
But the problem is that there are some of our people who are still outside.
Ati kitsibu kirende abandi abokuitwe bakinie yihya.
And this is what we are struggling with.
Echo nicho tuleko erelangera tuzitobo si tuendera hauma.
But the tafari has been put and Uganda is much richer now.
Omuhinzi oyo NRM yabirihira woho Uganda hatya nenyigaga kukire nyuma ngo kuyabya.
Now the fourth tafari
omuhinzi wakane
is jobs.
Yemibiri.
Now, these governments in Africa, when you see them collapsing,
ate esha government eshetu shomu Africa sende esha ukalangera sikatera,
even other parts of the world,
no mwabende bitweke byechuo kino,
they are not able to answer the questions.
Hani ebibulie bekabalemere subamu.
Because you have heard the questions we have been asking since we started here.
Mwama bilio webibuli betule tukayibulia itwerilwa hatwasera.
How do you get peace?
Ukatunga uti obuholo.
If you bring sectarianism, you will never get peace.
Wa matendiko lesha magezi esuwe shatunga obuholo.
Now, we are now answering the question of how do you get wealth?
Hatya tulio kwisubo mwachibulio obugaga tukabutunga tuti.
Now we have gone from there to how do you get jobs?
Neritoma endo kwa chende ibwe mibiri tutunge ya tuti.
Some people say government.
Abandu banene abandi bakabwambwe government yetule yetu emibiri.
That's a wrong answer.
Echo sichihikire risisuba mwirihikire.
And if you take that, you will be lost.
Wa matwala echo utie government yetule yetu emibiri nerukabu wa matala.
And the country will collapse.
Nerihangire kende ewa isiri ende mbere.
Yes, government has jobs.
Kwenene government ina utie emibiri.
But they are few.
Betu nemeke.
Population is very big.
Abandu twamaberekanya.
And in any case, it's not good to have a country where the majority of the jobs are government jobs.
Neribwa kandi sichihikire eritungeri hanga ahabandu abanene ba manire okwemibiri ye government.
Because government mainly consumes money.
A government kukera munu iyo yikali esiasente.
Administration.
Omwabyendema.
But we want work which produces wealth.
Ati sitwangakola tukabya bagaga.
Let me show you where productive jobs are.
Akatukangana ya ali emibiri eyatwangakola yikatuwa mwabunakwa.
Let's see Basangwa of Kamuli.
Hali eyakatukangana ya owe Kamuli.
Nze Basangwa Johnson, Managing Director wa Jeka Poultry Farm. Jeka Poultry Farm eyaganibwa Bukwenge, Kamuli Municipality, Kamuli District. Mu 2007 twatandika obulunzi nga tutandikira mu Kamuli Town Council by then mu plot yali 50 feet by 100 feet. Ezo futi 5 ku 10 eda itaka. Tutandika tutya twali nga tulina ebyobufuzi wano mu Kamuli nga waliwo ensonga nga chairman wero C5 omugenzi Kawuga bamwidukira Katonda mu ekyumulo eky'emirembe nga bamutwoiremu abantu bangi abatamu application nga bali kwenda okufuuka ba chairman ba 5. Ai president yaida yatulungamya yakoba ati bana abantu mwena temusobola kuba ba chairman ba 5 aye abantu mujje mukola emirimu egindi ng'okulunda yayogera kulunda embidi okulunda enkoko byonna yabyogerako. Nze napikinga mu ky'okulunda enkoko n'atandika farm mu 2007 n'enkoko 5. Sawa dino wendogerera ku farm kuno tize mabega ntambwire. President yaida yankyalira mu 2010 nga nina enkoko 5,000 yasanuka ino. Sawa dino tutambwire tulina enkoko 1,200 tufulumya amagi etule 2,000 buli lunaku. Etule 2,000 divaamu milioni 2 buli lunaku. Omwezi diba milioni 6. Omwaka.
10 years ago, it all began with one trade. Discipline became my edge. And today, I trade with confidence and consistency. 10 years of helping traders grow. FTMO.
President Yoweri Museveni ku bintu byenkoze era nga buli kaseera nkyekingako. Wendogera kati tulina abakozi 300 betukozesa wano ku farm tuwezaawo 10.
Now, Basangwa has helped us to answer 2 questions.
Ati amatuwa ticha erusuba mu mbibuli obebere yakasangwa.
The first question was, where does wealth come from?
Ekibuli ekyo kubanza obugaaga bukalwa hayi.
And he has answered that he took one of the 7 which we proposed in 97.
Ati yomwakola kiwuma okwa ebyaba omwabutuku bulya makolire kwa choma kwa bendo musanju.
He took only the poultry for eggs.
Mwatwere eche shangoko eshamaya.
And he was a poor boy.
Kandi abishawute sente inimoju shawute sente ye.
He had only a plot in Kamuli town.
Abyawute poroti njinsa omwatauni ye Kamuli
of 50 feet by
50 kwa chikome.
That's all the property he had.
Echo nicho abyawite kuchisa.
But from the eggs,
beto erilo mwamaya
is now selling 2,000 trays of eggs per day.
Hati akaula ye esyakureti shamaya esilabiro kwa 2,000 obulichiro.
And he's getting 20 million shillings per day.
Akatungesha milioni 20 obulichiro.
600 million in a year.
Esya milioni rokaga omwaka.
No, 600 million in a month.
Milioni rokaga omwokwezi kuma.
7.2 billion in a year.
Esya milioni rosanju
a
B. Esya bilioni musanju ne milioni bekome bebere omwaka mumu.
So he's a very rich man now.
Hatiane mulume muwuda mugaga.
And he tells you that when I went there in 2007,
omwabutu komusha kuloga ndayo
2007,
2007
they were fighting for the job of LC5.
Abya naini akaronda ya atebamukome okwacha LC5.
And I said, you people, you can't all be LC5 chairperson.
Neroma bahabula tinyebo sisi mwangabya ba chairman LC5.
Why don't you do other things?
Habwa chimotakole bende.
And for you, I told them what I'm telling you, what I've been telling everybody all these years.
Neri mwamu wera ebyamatubwire ebikene byolunyane mutubwire nyane mubwirobule mundu mwihanga muno.
For him, he chose eggs.
Iyo neri mwatuamu ati akekolesha ngoko eshamaya.
You see how rich he is now.
Musamalere obuwuda obwale.
But his wealth
beto obuwuda bwiwe
has created 300 jobs for other Ugandans.
Obuwuda bwiwe bwamabire emibiri y'abandi bandu bekome besatu abanya Uganda.
So Basangwa, who was not employed himself,
iyo yakasangwa yowabishawite mubiri
is now employed,
aberefungo mubiri
but he's also employing another 300.
kenayo abereho abandi bemibiri abalengerana bikumi bisatu.
Now that is commercial agriculture on a smaller scale, how it can create wealth and jobs.
Obo bwobulime obukatuleteresha sente kene bulime buke musamalere ngokubukatuha obugaga omundu niagage niatunge sente.
Create wealth and jobs.
Ewatunga obugaga keweiraho nemibiri abandu batunge emibiri.
Let's see manufacturing now.
Tutasaleba yowonde owebyerihulucha.
Now, that big town you see
etawuni eyamulangiryeyo
is a new town.
Ni tawuni mbyaka
Near Mbale.
hakuikuhina Mbale.
It is a town of factories only.
Ni tawuni yesha factory sisa.
It has got 75 factories.
Yiwite sha factory sanjuni tanu.
But if you go, let's go inside one of them.
Tutasamalera tutengero mwangu mayayo tusamalira mwekati.
Very good. So you can see how many young people
wanganalangire munalangire abana balere eminyetu abalemu abakakoleramu
that are employed there.
Eminyetu eyamabitungira mu mibiri.
So that is another source of jobs, manufacturing.
Ebyo byeriwulucha nayo ningeri ngoma eyikatuletere emibiri.
So I'm glad you are now demanding from me an industrial park for Kasese.
Amatema ati tukamusaba tutie Kasese batukolere likolero lyangatuha ebibiri abana betu twangatunga emibiri.
You are now talking real economics now.
Ate hati amole kubua oluleme lwiwe lonyine nyine olwesha sente iyo lwakatuha bulamu.
And you are now confirming what we told you many years ago.
Kandibwa mutu amahika okwecho kyonyine nyine ebyali byakatubwira emyaka yamabere laba.
Because you remember you the Bakonjo.
Kundibwinywe Bakonzo
and the Basongora.
Na Basongora
and the Banyabindi.
Na Banyabende.
And even the Banyankore on the other side.
Na Banyangole elutambieria.
You said we want to go into the park here.
Mubwa bate epaka yino ye hano.
What is the park for?
Epaka anu yikakola hachi.
Let's go and grow sweet potatoes there.
Tuende tuyalemere yebitakuli ebirebwa.
Tulime ebiribwa.
Tulime yebiribwa.
Then I said, you people,
amabwa tibwinywe batambi.
If you want your country to survive,
mwamanzeri hanga rebyeho.
You must plan.
Tu planinge tuire mwamenge.
Where you grow ebiribwa.
Ahere biribwa.
But also where you do like tourism, which is another form of wealth.
Naha akebya byoburambure kenayo ningeri ngume yeretungira mu obugaga.
It is in the sector of services.
Yeryo omwachitweka eche byobuherezya. Obuherezya.
So the park is not like me, Museveni, who has got milk and I sell you milk and you drink it.
Epake yo siyiringi yo ngokwa ute shandesiwe akakuhasho ukasikama.
But they help people in another way.
Ye wite ngokuika watika yabandu.
People come ukushamarira, enyamaishwa ukushamarira. Just
abandu bakasi bakolesha meswe basamalira.
And he pays for the kushamarira.
Neri basasura habwere samalira tu.
Omuzungu eja shamara.
Omusungwini asini asamalira.
Tumuragarisi sente.
Neri twamusaba kasente bale twesente wamabere samalira.
Okumuragarisi. Okumuragarisi to make him drop money.
Neresha sente shikale sene mutrowe sene mwasa konde bakase basamalira nero batwa kasente eketuka trowe.
Where he slept he pays.
Ukakesa ya inyatuhao.
The food he eats he pays.
Ebyali alyana binyatuha.
The taxi rides in he pays.
ne motoka yamaendamu na inyatuha.
The water he uses, the electricity he uses, he pays.
Ameta walia kolesa ya masenyereze walia kolesa ya na unyatuha.
If he came with $10,000,
amasane sha dola siwe mutwalu,
by the time he goes back, we have make Tuamaraga Canaan.
Akabya kasubayo etwa mabere muhako esika ikanga Kanani twa mabiri muhashoko omwebya kenda katuha.
And tourism
ebye buramburi ebyo
has been earning more than coffee most of this time.
Bilwe bikatwingirirya kutsibu kukira nomwani omwabutuku bunene bwa malaba.
Even globally, tourism
kandi bwana omwachiwe chosi ebyo burambure
is bigger than all the coffee business.
Nibinene kutsibu erisinga ebyo mwani eringiri eryo mwani eryosi womalira haumerera.
Therefore, the future of Kasese in my head when I'm planning,
erelangira engula kulana kandi Kasese nga eyatukanza nga iriyite iyongo kwa kachisamalera,
the wealth,
obugaga
and the jobs
nemibiri
are from 3 sectors.
Nebendo bekulukutsebu.
Number 1, commercial agriculture.
Obu erelima erekende tuletera obugaga.
Okulima nokulisa.
Erelima nerilisha nokubyanga tuletera obugaga.
That's one form of wealth.
Ekyo ni kiwuma okwachike tuletera obugaga.
Tourism, especially services, especially tourism.
Ebyo buherezya kukera mono ebyo burambure,
wildlife and
ebyo bisoro byetu byo mwapaka
and mountaineering.
No mwabetu erehetuka bakasambe betwa.
Then the third one,
ekyakasatu,
manufacturing.
Ebyo eriwulucha.
So this is the fourth safari.
Yone muhinzi wakani.
But when we apply it to Kasese, those are the main points.
Kandibwa tukatuka chisamalera ahabwe akwa Kasese eno ebyo bye bikulu kutsebu.
Now finally emyoga.
Echeri unzererayo ebyo emyoga.
In order to do all this,
eri tutokeshere kolebyo sibeno,
you need to have omwoga.
Obule mundu utolere watunga omwoga wawu.
Omwoga is an old Nyankole word which I brought out and I gave it to Uganda, and I said it means specialization of life.
Ati ni chinywe cholunyangole chakera echachireta machiretera ba Uganda echikamanyisa ya chitu utolere wabane chau kakola omwa Uganda mono mubumizi wawo.
Okuhesha,
erehesa,
okubeija,
erevatsa,
okunogora, ceramics, ibumba, okunogora.
Eribumba.
These were all emyoga.
Eyo ni myoga.
And I've started, introduced the issue of emyoga in the whole of Uganda.
Neryo omwabutuko bwa hanyuma bwa malaba mwaka nachireta omwa Uganda yosi.
I have got a school here for those emyoga for skilling up. I don't know whether those children are here.
Kasese aberelete sukuru eyikagesa ya ebyebyala ebyemyoga ebyo atyakabula yanga hane abauma kwa bamabiri somero mwa sukuru eyo eyeto ya president eyire Kasese.
Are those children here?
Hanu hanyabo kwibo. Hanebo kwibo. Yes, there are some, Your Excellency. I can see some hands.
They are not organized.
Yes, they are not organized.
So therefore, with these are 4 bricks out of the 7.
Eyone mehinzi ini okwa musanjo eyeni aremu yamabirihiro kwihanga leno.
The matafa, these are 4 bricks out of the 7.
Ayone matafariane kwiti mehinzi ini okwa musanjo ebye government eyeni aremu yamabirihiro kwa Uganda.
And that's why we say, you people of Uganda,
nichoche kale kini abwati inywe abanya Uganda,
support NRM in these elections.
Batami tukome NRM mwabukome buno.
So that we continue moving forward.
nuko twangalo riende mbere.
Because what NRM is telling you is not stories, it is things that have been done and you can see them.
NRM yikabuga ne bindu bilangirikire ke wangana belangira sibisubeye.
The day after 2 days, in 2 days, I want you to support the NRM.
Ebiro bibere bekayasa chiro chakane akasabate tukome NRM.
So that we consolidate what we have done.
Nuko twangatso kumerera ebyatwamabere kola.
I have noted all the other issues you have mentioned.
Atahadye bende ebyamabesubamo byamabiribuwa.
The road maintenance equipment, Kasese needs more road equipment and more money for the Maram roads.
Ati Kasese yikayusunza ebyuma ebekale meshangoda neshasente risikanya esikashale meshangoda Kasese.
Because it is a big district.
Kundi district yetu nenene.
Pensions for the Rwenzururu people, I have noted it.
Akasimo akabanya Rwenzururu betu ako avereka hambandeke akasimo kabo.
Settling Banyabindi, I have noted it.
Songe Yabanyabindi nayo abera handekayo.
And memorial coming to the Katebwa, those areas where we were fighting, as having something there. We had been there before, but we can come again.
Ate eyehikira ekatebwe ngokubalya chibuwa vice chairperson nacho abere chahandika akandisha sovola abere chahandika.
NRM oye!
NRM oye!
Omugurusu wenkofira oye!
Omushakulu wesepe oye!
Omushakulu wenkofira.
Omushakulu wesepe oye!
Kasese oye!
Kasese oye!
Uganda oye!
Uganda oye!
Africa oye!
Africa oye!
Mwasinja kutsibu.
Wasinja kutsevu, ati mwasinja kutsevu. Wasinja tata.
Abantu ba Bukonjo East, Kasese katwachire okuganira kwa president weitu nengaro nyingi munonga. Your Excellency, webale kunda Uganda yona obutaruha, webale okwejesa obutaruha, webale kwendeza twena bugeyiga kandi okatushomesa turasima munonga. Obwahati, Your Excellency, naza kwanjurira abine bendera omuli Kasese kandi kambanze na Bukonzo East twine Mande Road Julius niwe twaherize flaga Your Excellency mwenu ojimuhereze omubutongore. Mande oye! Okusinga oye! Kandi twagira Sara Baleke Itungo nkamemba wa parliament omukazi okwasire bendera ahabwa Kasese district. Sara oye! Itungo oye! Baleke oye! Kandi twagira Honorable Dr. Crispus Chiyonga ahabwa Bukonzo West. Chiyonga oye! Kadashap oye! Twagira kandi LC5 oine flag ahabwa Kasese omwami Muhindi Erifazi Bukombi. Bukombi oye! Bukombi oye! Your Excellency was akweteza ekishani na ba flag bearers kandi baba baraheza ekishani ekirakurateho necha DEC members ahabwa NRM bakurate abatayesimbire omukarura kawire akurateho abandi okunda abashoborore.
If you walked into a company and asked where their IP assets are stored, no one could point to a shelf or cabinet. These invisible resources don't look like assets, yet they control your entire digital footprint. Maybe that's why they're overlooked. But invisibility doesn't mean insignificance. And as the internet grows more complex, the organizations that treat IPs like critical infrastructure will outpace the ones that treat them like temporary tools. So the question is, are we ready to rethink how we value the foundations of the internet? Join NRS. Be empowered to own and protect your digital identity.
katubaterera omungaro twakurasaho abatayesimbire as independents baba bari heihi mwije nimwe mworeke NRM kumwagizire emico mirungi mukaremwa kwesimba nko muntu nyabuntu kandi muri aba NRM mwebare turabasima munonga twaza kurasaho ekishani cyaba Prime Minister beitu babiri abari aha twineho Warren Zururu Baritazale Kule Benson ahabwa businga bwa Renzururu kandi tushibete teze n'ekishani cya Prime Minister ahabwa Banyabindi Mijumbi Bitamazire abana bebembezi beitu habyo buhangwa kandi batungwa mugisha bwo kutereshani na president baza kuratwa ba converts ningashi abantu abagaruka omunju yitu ya NRM kandi turaza kushembesa ba religious leaders nimwe muhike hihi kandi nimuraza kukomera ebishani ebiturayeteze na president erizoba abantu ba Bukonzo East abantu nyamwingi barayikanka bitano baruga omubibine bindi batwegitaho ngutwena tugendo mu basi President Museveni ni wa muvuji wa basi katubachire n'engaro nyingi munonga munonga NRM NRM juu President Museveni flag bearer juu zaidi abana babono wabo bagaruka muko wabo bebale kwija nabasigarayo mu biheyo Bukonjo yona tugende na basi esi yita tunguke kushiraho program za government tuzacire namani tubase kutunga ngundo nyingi nungi amashanyarazi amezi ebyamagara ebyabana bitu kushoma ebyobugeyiga bwo munshaho PDM oye Museveni oye abahinduka oye mwebale kutwegitaho kasese mwabonera basi mwebale kubonera mwebale kutwegitaho 2015 mucerekare muterere muzayi wenkofira n'aba MP ba fraga kare murujeho kandi tweteze cyane kindi n'aba religious leaders ningashi abanyadini beitu konka abahinduka muragarukayo mwebare turabasima NRM abagaruka mu NRM turaza kutemba basi amoye mwebare kwakira enjiri ya NRM kandi mukagaruka omuka aza mwahikayo mukore n'abambaka ganyu abanyabuzare banyu abatahi banyu twena tugirira karimwe eryentunguka ahabwa burungi bwa Uganda yitu ayitwarabireho na omu Western Uganda turenda kuhereza President Museveni 99.8 mwenu ni imwe abakasese tongeraho munonga ha percent. President hati yaiteze chishani n'abebembezi beitu abo mu madini turakusima munonga President ahabo tugarikanisa twena tukaba akarya kamwe tukaba enyinemwe webare no businge ruhanga ayebare no